welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is AhTravesty coming back with another mod for Neverwinter Nights 2. Alright, we're going to play a mod called Harp and Chrysanthemum. This is a mod that actually came out back in like 2007. I actually played this back then when it first came out, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I was happening to look on the Neverwinter Nights Vault, which is where you can download this mod, and I was reminiscing about it, and I said, you know what, let's play that one again. I really don't remember the mod that much, but I know I enjoyed it thoroughly when I played it. So I figured this would be a good one to do a let's play on. So, and this is a pretty good mod, so this ought to be pretty enjoyable. Alright, Harp and Chrysanthemum. Let's look at the intro here. The story begins in Drawn Swords, a tiny settlement on a crag between the Backlands and Sunset Vale. You had come here with Roman Horner, an amiable treasure hunter of about 1 year's acquaintance, in order to meet with his brother Manfred. The three of you were to seek adventure together after meeting up. But when Manfred fails to arrive on time, adventure finds you before you can find it. Aided by a stern and lovely paladin of Soon, the good folks of Drawn Swords, and a diffident Roman, you are soon drawn into a drama of religious conflict, military stakes, and esoteric mystery, only to find yourself quite unexpectedly the drama's key player. Alright, a little bit additional background on this is version 1.01, and like I said, you can download this mod from the Neverwinter Nights Vault, and I'll have a link in the description below. A couple other mods that I'm using are UI mods by Tchos. He's got two of them that I'm using, HD UI screens and HD widescreen and background mod. And I'll show you that stuff as we play. Here you can kind of see the optional background too. This background is kind of different. That's part of his mod. So those are really good mods by Tchos. If you don't use them when you play your Neverwinter Nights 2 games, you're really missing out. I highly recommend that you download those also. Those two mods by Tchos I actually pulled off the Neverwinter Nexus website, and I'll also leave a link to those mods in the description below also. Now, there's some companions in this game. There's three of them. Two of them I think are forced on you, and the third one is optional. You can keep them or leave them. What they are, if I remember correctly, was a paladin, a rogue, and then the last one that is optional is, I think, a cleric. So base your character creation on that. Something else additional that should be pointed out is I think you start at 4th level in this mod. So if you have a 1st level character, I think it will automatically level you up to 4, and then you have the option to buy new equipment and all that stuff at the beginning of the game. Or of course you can go with the other option and use a 4th level character that you already have. So alright, so let's go ahead and start campaign. Alright, I am going to use a character that I already have that is 4th level. And I think since the game starts with a paladin, a rogue, and possibly a cleric, it's probably a good idea to probably have some kind of wizard or a sorcerer or a bard or something like that, so you got a balanced party. But that's just me. But I am going to go with the one I've been using in some of my other adventures, and that's Haldor Balm. This is my wizard character, so let's see. Yeah, I got a 4th level wizard right there, so let's use him. He's a male human, neutral good, generalist wizard. He's got the wizard apprentice background, and here's his stats. Of course, he's got 18 intelligence, and dexterity and constitution are a bit above average, and the other ones are just average. So let's go ahead and start the game. Harp and Chrysanthemum. Somewhere in the Sunset Mountains. A fair day to you, Theophilus. What word do you bring from Corm Orp? A fair day to you as well, disciple. Our word is spreading. but the word of our God, has not yet been spoken. How can this be, Theophilus? Only the unbeliever says, how can I know the word is true and yet not have it? Have faith, disciple, and the word shall be found. Then I will believe. Were my faith not strong already, the miracle that has changed this place would convince me. Observe how thoroughly we have purged it of foulness. I see, and am glad, but our work is not yet done. These bodies must be burned tonight. Prepare the pyre, walk in love. Bunch of bodies in a pit there. I will do as you ask, walk in love, Theophilus. Drawn Swords, a hamlet in the backlands. The town of Drawn Swords, a long day's march north of Cormorp, is one of several lonely hamlets that dot the western heartlands of Faerun. It is most notable for the high crag in which it is built, and an inn known as the Sword and Dragon. You arrived here with Roman Horner, your friend and fellow adventurer, to meet his brother, a young mage named Manfred, who wished to join you in your travels. It has been 3 days since your arrival, and still there has been no word of him. He should have been here long ago. I suppose you're eager to leave, but Manfred is my brother, for better or worse. Let's see, we got some choices here. Let's see, what can we say? Manfred will show up. He must have misjudged how long the road from Berdusk to Drawn Swords really is. True, Manfred is never known for his fine judgment. I did not really think he would give up. He'd never failed me, very much unlike that slow coach we were waiting for. Remember when you saved my life in Scornable? Well, since then I've kept you close, a true friend, you might say, or at least a useful one. Do I remember? Of course. We were at the Jaded Unicorn Inn. What a place! I had just finished a glass of Halflin's Head when out came a half-orc, besotted and bleary-eyed, with 2 aces of spades in his hands. He claimed I cheated him and put his dagger to my throat. But suddenly there was a flash, and the smell of fire and brimstone, and down went the half-orc, slain by your magic. Gods, I wish you were always so quick with it. That's not quite how I remember it, Roman. You do me too much honor. Of course, but back to present concerns. I know it's come up before, but once Manfred gets here, where do you think we should head? I hear work's thin in Neverwinter. Waterdeep, perhaps? The door of the Sword and Dragon slams, and a woman, fair of complexion and clad in highly polished, decorative mail, enters. The inn quiets considerably. I am looking for a man named Roman Horner. Is he here? I am Roman Horner. The woman walks briskly to Roman with a sure step, as if all eyes in the inn were not watching her. Greetings, Roman. I am Ianth, Knight of the Ruby Rose and devoted protector of the town of Drawn Swords.
I miss the old times, you know.
At the word protector, a few of the people in the inn begin to murmur. A look from Ianth immediately quiets them. There is no easy way to say this. Your brother Manfred is dead, killed by brigands on his way through North Dark Wood. I reached him too late, but was in time to learn that he was supposed to meet you here. Alas, I knew Tymora would turn her back on that fool one of these days. Is he really dead? Yes, Though you will be glad to know that I have brought his body to town. It rests at the top of the crag where Brother Anselm watches over it. Again, I am sorry for your loss, but now I must leave you to your grief. Milady, this is terrible news. Surely you will not leave without telling Roman how exactly this all transpired. If you wish to know more, seek me inside Sword's Keep. I have business to speak of with Hamfast. Farewell. I am at a loss of words, Peldor. This is one blow I can't dodge. Damn! Hey there, friend. I couldn't help but overhear what Mistress Ianthe was telling you. Hard luck, hard luck. You might not think old Danmar, which is in the way of sympathy, but I've got a flask of Elverquist, who's very kind. Take it with my best wishes. Tymor bless you, Danmar. Roman, I would understand if you needed some time by yourself. I know I would. No, friend. I am not one to keep a cup of bitters to myself. The poison's sweeter if shared. The bearer of the bad news was strange, wasn't she? I've never met a Soon worshipper like her before. The innkeeper interjects once more. Aye, Ianthe is not your typical pleasure-seeking, warm-hearted follower of the goddess of love. She does good by the town, but the locals mistrust her. Who's ever heard of an icy Soonite? Interesting. Are you ready, Vroman? Yes, let us view the body. By the gods, this is not how I'd intended to spend the afternoon. Lead on. And end dialogue. Alright, so here we are in the Sword and Dragon Inn. And let's see, while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look. I want to show you how Tchos' HD UI mod looks here. So what it does is make all the information panels and the inventory panels and the spell books and all that stuff, all of it's bigger. It increases the font so you can see all this stuff better on a high def monitor. So, and as you can see, the inventory panel is different too. Now, I edited this a little bit so it's not the stock inventory panel. When you first get this mod, this panel is actually like 4 rows wider, but like, or three rows wider and about 4 rows shorter. Now, I edited it and I made it narrow. I actually deleted 3 columns out of this and added 4 rows on the bottom of this, so I made it narrower. And the reason I did that is I'd like the one that's more narrower, because a lot of times when you're playing the game and you have this open, this screen will actually be like way over here in the middle because it extends so far to the right. In addition to that, I wanted it longer so I can see all the information right here in this information panel right here. Whereas before you actually had to scroll up and down to see it all because it was cut off at about right here. So I lengthened it here so it's a lot longer so I can get this whole panel in here without having to scroll through it. So I think I like it like that. It's your preference, but I edited the XML file that Tchos had here, the original one, to my personal preference. So, but anyways, the bottom line is if you get Tchos' module, you can see it. All the font and everything is a lot better, and you can read everything a lot better. So, to include the spells and all this stuff, so you can look at that there. The journal and all that's bigger, so you can. All the fonts are bigger. I think it's a great mod, along with his other HD widescreen background and menu mod. Those are the 2 I use all the time when I play this game. So, and like I said, I highly recommend you download it and use it. It just enhances the UI so much better. So, okay, so let's get on with the game. So here we are in the Sword and Dragon. So let's take a look at our characters. Okay, so what we have here is Peldor Volm, which is my main character, and as I was said in the intro, is a 4th level human wizard, neutral good. Denier is a god, generalist wizard, and I have very good concentration, which is 17, very good craft alchemy. Oh, that's something to mention too. I think there's little to none as far as crafting goes in this mod. So if you make a character, probably you can ditch the crafting the skills. So put your skill points into something else that's going to be more valuable. But like I said, this is a character I had from other mods that I've played. So I got 12 in alchemy, 7 in craft armor, craft strap, craft weapon, and let's see, 13 in lore, a little bit in search, 13 in spellcraft, and a little bit in tumble. So, and my feats, I got Wizard's Apprentice, gives me +1 spellcraft, +1 lore, +1 craft alchemy, -1 fortitude save, however, and a -1 spot. So, of course, I got the weapon proficiencies for as a wizard, a scribe scroll, quick to master for being human, skilled for being human, summon familiar, of course, and I have the luck of heroes background trait, which gives me a +1 bonus on all saves, as well as a +1 luck bonus to armor class. And I'm a spellcasting prodigy. For purpose of determining bonus spells and the saving throw DCs of the spells you cast, treat your primary spellcasting ability score, which is intelligence for me, as 2 points higher than its actual value. So that's a pretty good one. Alright, and let's see. This is the inventory I have from previous mods. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff. Some of this was from Wizard's Apprentice mod, so I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff to balance it out, because some of this is a little bit powerful for a 4th level character, I think. But anyways.
Sure.
And here we have our companion, Roman Horner. Roman Horner appears to be a 4th level chaotic good human rogue. So let's see, Timora is the deity. And let's see, his dexterity is 17, with strength, intelligence, and charisma being above average, and everything else is... And constitution just a little bit above average, and wisdom is below average with a 9, giving him a -1 penalty.